Like, it makes me feel sick. It makes me feel like physically ill. 80% of boring to get to the 20% of interesting. I want to get to the end of this book so bad so that I can know where everything is going and if these people are okay. Hello everyone, excuse my appearance because we are starting a reading vlog right now on a whim. I've been missing filming reading vlogs like a lot. I think it's probably my favorite video to put out to film. My attention span, to be quite honest, is in the gutter. So bad, so bad. I've been so addicted to my phone, and I am combating that with the inspiration that I have to start a reading vlog. So I'm gonna keep filming until I finish 3 books. If you're new here, hi, hello, my name is Reagan. I do bookish stuff here on this channel, so if you are into bookish stuff, hi, welcome. Let's be book besties. Subscribe if you'd like, and I'm gonna tell you what I'm reading. So currently I'm reading Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. This is the second book in the Red Rising series. This is my library copy because I'm currently studying abroad, so I don't have any of my books here with me, and it's really devastating. I do have this lovely library copy, so we're reading this. I'm currently on chapter 20, page 181, and I'm doing a buddy read with one of my besties, Leah. We're doing this because we buddy read Red Rising together, and we absolutely loved it. I rated Red Rising a 4 stars. It's going not as good, I fear, as Red Rising. I don't know like what vibe switch happened. Like, I'm just not enjoying this one as much as I enjoyed Red Rising. I felt like this sometimes in Red Rising too, but not as much. The situations or the actions of our character kind of were written into the character to fit the plot. Minor spoiler warning for Red Rising, very minor. So if you don't want to know anything, skip to this timestamp and I'll be done talking about it. We ended Red Rising with Darrow like on a high, like he was doing good. We start this book out, what the hell happened? It just felt like it came kind of out of nowhere, and I don't like that it felt like we just did this complete character switch just for there to be a plot arc in this second book. That's kind of what I feel like. Let me know what you think of this book if you've read this series. I feel like we're kind of redoing the whole first book with semi-different issues, but we had to put Darrow so low so that he could climb again and have like a rising action. Like, I felt like it was simply just done so that we could have this book. Maybe we needed to either start right from the end of Red Rising or have a larger time jump into where something else significant was happening. The beginning of this book was a little jarring for me, and I don't know how I'm feeling about it. I have to read 3 chapters of this a day. This is going to be read over the span of a week, I think. I'm reading this book that I'm currently forgetting the title and the author of because I'm listening to it on audio. I picked this up on a whim because I was like, I need something else to listen to since this is very limiting. I can only read 3 chapters a day. I think it's Loved by You, and it's something Lachelle, something Shell is the author. Oh my god, it's so good. I'll put the name up of the narrator on the screen for the male main character, but his voice, absolutely insane, really deep, and they're from Louisiana, so it's like a little hint of like a southern drawl. It is doing things to me. Like, I am not normally one for a southern accent because I am from the south, and so it's like it feels a little hostile sometimes. Oh my god, it's doing it for me in this book. Like, the narrator, he is absolutely eating down. It's one of those audiobooks where the voice is almost too deep to where I'm like, I can't even hear what you're saying because your voice is too deep, and I love that. Anyways, so this is like kind of a past present timeline kind of a situation, like a second chance romance, which I don't normally go for, but for some reason it's really working in this book. Our 2 main characters, they met each other in Louisiana in college, and we know that something happened, but we don't know what happened. We're kind of meeting them again when they accidentally reconnect in Houston. What I like about this is, from what I know at this moment now, it's not like all of the other second chance romances where someone cheats. I'm saying this before I know actually definitively what happened, but based on the information I know at this exact moment, it wasn't cheating. That's one pet peeve of mine that I have with second chance romances, is like, why is it always freaking cheating? Maybe it's just the books I'm reading, but like, why is everyone freaking cheating? Like a cute little second chance contemporary romance that I'm supposed to root for the characters, you're gonna have one of them cheat? I don't know. I don't condone this. I'm going to keep reading tonight. I think I have to get through chapter 20 and chapter 21 tonight of this. So I think I'm going to lay down in bed and I'm going to read this until my timer for my laundry goes off and I have to go get my laundry. Sorry for the long-winded intro, but I'm really excited about this video because I've been really missing reading vlogs. I love a reading vlog, and I feel like I've lost my spark in reading. I've lost my attention span. So here we are. Let's get to reading for the night. We're gonna cozy up in my study abroad, really ugly bed, but we're gonna do it because it's the only place I have at the moment. We're romanticizing. I know how I was just saying that I wasn't feeling this book, but chapter 21, hold on a minute, that was gas. That was really good. But just chapter 21, like 20, 19, 20, meh, 21. Okay, I'm locked. It's a little bit of second book syndrome. I did finish my chapters for the day, so I do have to stop, even though I just got to the really good part. But I'm gonna send my voice memo to my friend Leah. I'm gonna go get my laundry, and we are gonna read probably one of my other books. This video might be a little all over the place because I'm gonna switch between this and another book at all times. I'm reading Loved by You. Nessa gets a knock at her door, our FMC. Nessa gets a knock at her door. She goes, there's no one there, so she opens the door, and she looks down. There's like a bag. There's a note attached. And the note says, Nessa, I don't have your address, but I remembered how I got here the night of your birthday. I don't know if you've learned to stop and eat when you're in a creative groove, so I got you something just to be sure. Eat up and enjoy. Say. Bro, I don't think that I can function properly. This book is breaking me. I'm going to give you an update on my reading and everything for today because that is just what we're here to do. I literally told myself, I said, you're not going to film in your PJs because what always happens to me is I film the clips for my reading vlogs like right before I go to bed, and like I have my weekly PJ set. So like whatever I'm wearing that week for my weekly PJ set, which is these red ones, ends up being the only outfit you see me wear in the video. Today I was like, no, I'm gonna film before I shower. And then I did it. I do have some eye masks on, so if my eyes look a little weird, that's why. I actually started my chapters for the day. I read one of these chapters. You maybe saw me read that at the park. But I have two more chapters to read. Chapter 23 and then chapter 24. So that'll put me at page 234, exactly part 2. I really like the chapter I just read, so I'm excited to read this tonight. I've just been grinding on a reading vlog that I'm putting up for next week. And then I've also been doing my homework because I haven't exam tomorrow, which is going to be really, really fun. I also have been reading the Loved by You audiobook, and actually I have 3 hours and 40 minutes left of that at 1.2 times speed. I think I can finish that tomorrow, if not before. What I really wanted to do tonight was play Animal Crossing and listen to my audiobook, but what is actually going to be happening is I'm going to read this and then go to bed because I have my exam tomorrow. It's already 11 p.m. Where did the time go today? Like literally. I have to pack tomorrow and I have a lot of things to do, so I think I can listen to my audiobook tomorrow, no problem. But we are going to read this tonight and get up tomorrow and pack because I'm going to London in a few days and I'm so ecstatic. I did get a hold in on my Libby app. I got The Rights of a Starling Hold. I really need to read that, but I also have a Holly Jackson book that's currently like 5 days left, and I've been waiting for that one for like months. So I really should read that one, but I'm just like, I don't know if I'm gonna get to it. And then I also have to think about finishing my TBR for this month, which I have 3 more books left on. One I currently have Softy and Eft, but I'm gonna come back to. It's the 15th, so I do have a long time, but I'm like a little bit stressed on, not stressed, I shouldn't be stressed, this is fun, but I have a lot of books that I like have gotten a hold in for that I'm like, ooh, I really need to read them. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and read the rest of my chapters for the night and go to bed. Talk to you guys tomorrow morning, and hopefully the next time that I talk to you, I am not in these PJs, but I cannot make any promises. Hello everyone, I'm gonna tell you about what I'm reading, and look at me, I'm not in PJs, which is amazing, and I'm very glad that I'm coming to you finally not in my PJs. I'm doing a little bit of journaling right now, so if you see me weaving around this glue stick, that's kind of what I'm doing at the moment. I have just finished my chapters for the day for Golden Sun by Pierce Brown. I just sent my voice memo to Leah, and I was saying, I feel like we're not in the know, but in a way that annoys me. Like, I don't mind when the characters or like the plot isn't completely revealed, or like if there's a plan, like I don't mind if we're not completely in the know as the audience. Sometimes it's sorry, we're shaking a lot because I'm gluing something down. Sometimes it's a little bit fun when you don't really exactly know what's happening. However, the issue I'm currently having, it feels like that I'm not in the know because this could go very badly. I like to be not in the know when like I'm like, okay, I trust your ability to like execute this plan, and I know that I'm gonna be like really shocked and happy about how it goes down because I know that you're good at like the plans and everything as the main character. But if like Daryl, I feel like is sometimes a little too unpredictable, where I'm like, okay, this could go really good or this could go really bad, and I don't like that I don't know what's about to happen, so I can't like theorize because I fear like he's just not a good enough, not good, he's a good planner, he's not consistent enough for me to be like, okay, I trust you. That's kind of it. I'm just gluing in some things into my journal. This journal wasn't really supposed to be a junk journal, but I have been collecting things that I'm like, okay, realistically, where am I gonna put this when I get back to the US? So it's going in my journal, like all of my boarding passes from the way there and stuff, so. I'm actually in heaven right now. Let's go over my reading, but also let me give you a tour of my hotel room because I'm in freaking London. This is my hotel room. We're at the Bloomsbury Hotel. After this will be posted after I leave, obviously. But I am in my robe and I'm in the hotel room, and we're eating dinner in the hotel room tonight. I'm gonna order room service and read in my room tonight. Like, I'm having so much fun. I took the train to London this morning. Quite an eventful day. I need to go through it with you. Let's chat. So today I took the train to London to visit with my grandparents. They're here for the weekend and then they're gonna come with me to Paris. I this morning missed my first train to London. Fully my own fault. I am on my way to Gare du Nord and I get there and I'm like, I don't have my suitcase with me. And then I was like measuring, I was like, okay, am I gonna spend more money buying new clothes and a new wardrobe for 4 days in London? Or is it more cost efficient to go back and get my suitcase? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back and get my suitcase and try and make my current, like my train that I was gonna try and get to. And so I go back. I arrived back at the train station at the exact time that my train was supposed to pull away from the station. The line to get through border control, so long. So I was like, okay, didn't make it. Buy a new train for the next train the next hour. And that was perfect because the border line kind of took me about an hour. I got there with like perfect amount of time for the next train. I don't even know if I had made it there with my bags the first time, if I wouldn't have made it through border control and onto my train in time, to be quite honest. But I made it for the second train. It was like kind of an expensive mistake, but it would have been more expensive to go to London and have to buy all new clothes for the week. Anyways, so that all happens. I get here. Today we go to Westminster Abbey and I saw a few things like the London Eye, the Big Ben, all like the main touristy stuff that was in that area when we went to Westminster. But on the train, I ended up reading my portion of Golden Sun today. Long story short, this is now kind of turning into a reading vlog slash a London vlog. I think I'm gonna call it like reading devastating books because I'm reading this book, which I think is supposedly gonna emotionally devastate me in the end. Loved by You, which was a pretty emotional book. Updates on this, I'm now on page 270 of Golden Sun, so probably about, I'd say 2/3. It's still kind of like second book syndroming me, if I'm being honest. It's not my favorite thing ever. I don't really have any new thoughts on this. I did finish on the train, or yesterday actually, I finished Love by You. Immediately follow her on her Amazon, like the series, because that's the only published book that she has at the moment, and it was so good. Like, highly recommend. It was definitely a very real feeling romance. Like, it felt so real. There's a lot of problems, a lot of like emotional growth, a lot of going to therapy, working through their issues, not only with the relationship but also with like family, and a lot of like generational trauma and just all this stuff that like really felt very real problem wise. Like, this is probably a real problem that people have. And then also like how the relationship was handled and like the second chance of it all. It didn't feel like so like, oh, this is fate. This felt like something that like is a real relationship that isn't like fate per se, but these are two people trying to work together to be together and stay together. It's a very emotional book. Trigger warning, if you don't want to know anything about this book before you go in, skip ahead about 30 seconds. Miscarriage in this book, that's a huge, huge theme. Losing a child. And so that kind of repeatedly came up and came up and came up. Nessa had to repeatedly deal with and continues to deal with, even as she grows, her family grows, and her relationship grows with Zay. And I really, really enjoyed it. I'm gonna read anything else that this author puts out. The writing was absolutely gorgeous. I loved the audiobook. The two narrators did a phenomenal job. I think it was done by Podium. Really, really enjoyed that. Now, I did also start the audiobook for Releasing 10 after I finished this book. I was playing Animal Crossing and I started Releasing 10 and I said, okay, I can read this for about like 20 pages at a time and then I need to put it down for a break. So I read 5% of the way in, already felt sick. So I was like, okay, we're putting it down for the night. It's so heavy and I expected that. Like I fully knew what I was getting into and I know it's gonna emotionally devastate me, but I just like, it makes me feel sick. It makes me feel like physically ill sometimes to listen to that. That's kind of the reading I've got going on. We're gonna do a lot of reading tonight because I love it here. I just want to like read, lay in bed, get some room service, read, have a fun little bevy. I might make a tea after dinner because there's like a little bar over there with like tea, hot chocolate. Maybe I'll make a hot chocolate tonight. I don't know. I'm gonna stop yapping right now because I would like to get in my bed, have a cozy in the hotel tonight, which I'm so excited for. I'm so tired of traveling and going out at night. Like I like to go out at night, but when I'm traveling, I'm like, okay, I'm exhausted. We just did like 30,000 steps today and then we're gonna go to a bar. How about we chill, have a glass of wine and read? That's like my vibe. So I'm like, okay, this is the perfect night for me. I might order a glass of wine and some hummus and pita bread for my reading snack tonight. So I gotta talk to you about reading. It's now Sunday and we leave tomorrow. I've gotten a little bit farther in this because I've read my pages for yesterday. Got to page 293. I have about this much left. And I'm still like, it's giving such middle book syndrome. Like, I don't know if anyone else felt like this when they read this book, but like, it's giving me nothing. It's giving me nothing. I'm a little confused, but I'm trudging along. I literally got back home yesterday and I was like, okay, I'm gonna read. Laid down with my Kindle, read one page, fell asleep. So apparently I was pooped yesterday. Tonight, we're having a lock-in night for reading. I'm also gonna go book shopping today with my grandparents as well, so hopefully I get some more books. I need to go. We're going to Churchill's War Rooms today. I'm very excited to go see those because I've heard so many good things about like the experience. Like, not excited, that's probably not the right word to use, but like I'm very interested to see how it's all laid out and everything. So this is just a conglomeration vlog of all the books that I'm reading at the moment. It's getting a little confusing in my mind and probably is very confusing for you as well. Time for a little update. Clearly, I've made it back to my apartment. I hope my hair looks okay. I've never done it like this with the two clips, but anyways. So, Golden Sun, right? I'm bored. I want something else to happen. Like, I feel like we haven't done anything in the past 100 pages. And we get to like the war, like the important part of the book. And I'm bored. It's just war and like stupid like battle strategy and plans and stuff. And I'm like, it's not stupid stuff. This overly descriptive writing about these battle plans in which like, yeah, I guess they're cool, but this is the part where I'm like, this is such a man book because you can describe the battle in a way that makes sense for the characters and isn't just like, and then he flipped over this rock and he like, you know what I mean? It feels like I'm being given a play-by-play of the actions of the people in the battle about how cool it's looking. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to get this visual picture of how cool it's looking. And then we'll snap to a moment in which Darrow is like being kind of introspective about war and battle and like what he's feeling. And I'm like, this is much more interesting, but that part is so small. And the big battle like description of the scene is so like long and it's taking a while. And I'm like, okay, we need need both. I think the ratio is a little bit off here. And honestly, I just want something to happen. Like I want there to be some plot moment where I'm like, okay, this all was worth it. All of this non-action, this rising action leads to something, but it's not leading to anything. And I understand I have a little bit left, but I'm like, it's taken 90% of this book has been rising action of the non-important variety. Like we've essentially done nothing this entire book. The whole entire time I've been bored, even if the last 20% of this book gives me something, it's like, okay, but I had to read 80% of boring to get to the 20% of interesting. And that's one of my pet peeves in a fantasy book, is when they like use the ending for the wow factor and it's like they throw a rating at you. It's like, okay, that ending, really good, 5 stars. But then when you sit and think about it, you're like, wait, but the rest of the book, I was bored out of my mind. Setting that aside, let's talk about, so I'm actually getting annoyed with my hair. Releasing 10. I feel ill. I feel sick to my stomach. I don't know what I thought, because at this point, if you've read Binding 13, there's like a huge event that we know is going to happen in this book, and it's going to shape the perspective that Lizzie has on certain characters in the rest of the group. I'm about 36% of the way in, and I am confused as to where this event is. I thought that would have happened really quickly in the beginning of this book. It's not a bad thing. I'm just like a little bit like, okay, I'm anticipating it. So I'm like, when is it gonna happen? I feel like it should have happened already. Like it's making me anxious. This book is very heavy. If you haven't looked up trigger warnings for this, I would look up trigger warnings for this. Lizzie goes through a lot of awful, terrible, disgusting, gross, literally makes my skin crawl things in her youth. And in her book, it's not described in as much detail as I thought it would be for how everyone was acting online about it, but it is very graphic and disgusting and icky. I also think it's important to read about if you can, because this is a real thing that happens to people, and like the discomfort of you sitting there reading it is uncomparable to this discomfort of like the person that's going through it, quite obviously. And so I don't know, I just think it's something that like when I'm sitting there reading it and I feel like discomfort and disgusting and like my skin is crawling, I sit there and I think, how would I feel if I was this person? I cannot even imagine how Lizzie actually is feeling. And I might be wrong, but this might hit a little close to home with Chloe Walsh as well. I'm not totally sure. Don't quote me on that. I felt like I read that somewhere. It's important to me in my reading experience to recognize that. I see a lot of people cry throughout reading this book. I think I'm an emotional reader, but I don't often cry. Like crying is not how I display emotion. I feel like for me to cry at something, like, I don't know. I don't cry very often in my real life, TMI, but I don't cry very often when I read books. I'll tear up, but like actual tears running down my face, not very common. The way I handle this book is more like anger. Like I just get so viscerally mad and like I need to get up and like hit something. Like I'm frustrated. I get really frustrated. So I feel like that's how I'm dealing with the actions and the events in this book. I just haven't like cried yet, and I don't know if I will. All this to say, it's still emotionally devastating, and I am not enjoying my time reading this book, but I am glad that I picked it up when I picked it up. Would like to finish Golden Sun today, and then I would love to get about 50% of the way through Releasing 10. I'm about 37% of the way through. I'm about to go walk to my grandparents' hotel room because I want to go on a walk today and I need to meet them for lunch. So we are going to do that. I have my cutie little matching set on. I'm gonna go take my eye patches off and finish getting ready. I finished Golden Sun last night, and wow, what an ending. But like the ending did not justify the road to getting there. I was bored the whole book. Still, I'm like, I wish we would have had reveals throughout or like had some sort of action. It just felt like this whole 90% of the book was like, for what? It mattered, but it didn't matter. Now that I see the end, I'm like, okay, I know why we were alluding to all this lead up. I kind of guessed it because there was so much build up and like questioning things. Essentially followed the exact same plot of the first book. This one was not my favorite. I am going to continue on with the series. I want to read the third book, and then I'll probably stop there unless for some reason like the first trilogy is not enough for me, but I don't think I'm going to continue on after that. What else am I reading? I'm also reading Releasing 10 right now, and good lord, that is devastating. We got to like the thing that you know is going to happen, like, is a big event for Lizzie in the rest of the books and like a reason why she acts the way she does. You get to that, and then you have to keep going. You still have half of the book left, and somehow it gets darker. darker and darker and darker. I'm about 60% of the way through at this moment. What is really frustrating is I want to get to the end of the last book of Taming 7. I want to get to the end of that book. I need to have Lizzie's grown up perspective because right now she's still very young, 12 or 13. I just can't imagine, like, she's still so clueless, but not clueless because that makes her sound dumb. It's like she just doesn't know a lot of things and doesn't realize or isn't. I want her to get help. I need her to go to therapy. I really want, like, some sort of resolution. I need her to get better. It's stressing me out. It's making me anxious. It's making me sad, and like it's very angering too. And it's not her fault. I'm not mad at her. I want to get to the end of this book so bad so that I can know where everything is going and if these people are okay. And I don't know if we're gonna get there because I always see people crying at the end of this book. I'm scared. Like really scared. I am 87% of the way through releasing 10. I have an hour and a half left in the audiobook, and I thought I would give you a little update. I haven't been filming myself reading a lot or like any aesthetic shots because I don't have the book and I don't have the book on Kindle. So I'm literally just listening to it and scrolling on Pinterest or doing chores or whatever. So I literally don't have any clips of me reading. I don't even know what to say, to be quite honest. Like I started filming this update and then like what do I even say about this book? I feel so deeply for both Lizzie and Huey. This has definitely been my favorite book so far, and that might be a controversial opinion. I found myself interested in their dynamic throughout the rest of the books. There was obviously something deeper there that we didn't really know. Reading through her perspective, it just gives me so much, not sympathy, not empathy, I don't even know. It's like that thing where people always say, it's like you never know what people have going on in their private lives, so you shouldn't judge how they treat people in public. It doesn't excuse behavior, but it explains it, and I love the explanation of the behavior that we've seen from Lizzie so far. Love might have been the wrong word too, but like, and I'm there, I understand. It's tugging on my heart because I feel so bad and disgusted, and like this is such a disgusting story. I don't even know what to say other than what I've already said of like, it feels important to read because this is something that happens to people, and like as much as it's uncomfortable to read, it happens to people and it's uncomfortable for them as well when they go through it. So I don't know. I don't even have succinct thoughts for this update. I just wanted to tell you that I'm almost done with the book. And I don't know that at the end I'm gonna have any more succinct thoughts than this. Like I just don't know how to process, honestly, when I'm reading. I want to tell you that this is probably my favorite, most valued book in the series. I understand where people are coming from when they're like, oh, I hated Lizzie's book. Like I understand that. I just think in my perspective, like this gives so much context to the rest of the book. And one person that I didn't think that I would feel so much for is Huey. But actually, like Huey, I feel so bad for him. Like he's precious and he's given so much of his life to Lizzie, and he's going through it right now, like in this moment that in the book right now. So I'm like, I just can't. I'm gonna go and I'm probably gonna finish this book today.